Hi there, statistics students. We're going to continue with this context of having 10 houses in a line. Here's the number of people living in each line. There is an average of 3.5 people per house. That is to say, if we had to go and have the same number of people in every house, there'd be 3.5 people in every house. That's a big if. No one's going to be told to go live in somebody else's house. That's not what we would do. Median, 2 people, saying half the houses have 2 or more, half the houses have 2 or fewer people. So we want to compare those two measures of center. And so here we go. Our median, okay, I don't know why that keeps happening. Our median was 2, right? Chop the data in half. And then our average was 3.5. So we want to take a look at the interpretation. Why are these two measures of center? Like, isn't the center just the center? Why are these measures of center different? Well, it tells a story, or gives the interpretation, tells the story of what's happening with this house with 12 people. It's telling that story. All right, so our interpretation is we can say something like that. Since the average of 3.5 is bigger than the median of 2, this tells us the possible direction of outliers. Like, if there are going to be outliers, they might be on this high side of like, hey, there's maybe this weird house that's got a ton of people living in it as compared to the rest of the houses that don't have as many people. This is another way of saying we have data that is skewed high, or I like to say towards the right, both of those directions, right? This is the right side of the graph. There's only a few houses that have this many people in them. Skew is the direction of few. So anytime that we compare our measures of center and they're different, we can say, oh, the average has been pulled away from the median. The median doesn't care what these other values are. It's just chopping the data in half. In other words, having 5 houses, doesn't matter how many people are living in them, just fewer, more. Just cut the neighborhood in half as long as they're already ordered up. But this average, it cares how many people are living in houses. Like, holy cow, this 12-person house is really pulling up this measure of center. It's skewed high. So certainly, if the tables were turned here and there was only one house with 0 and everybody else was in mansions, then this value of 0 would have pulled the average down towards the lower end or towards the left, and we would have had an average that's to the left. All right, so in other words, just to get a picture, we, instead of having both our median and average lined up, we had our median here, we had our average here. In other words, this average value was pulled higher than the median by this value, this outlier. If you watch the previous video, we found that anything bigger than 11 was a suspicious number of people living in a house. We wanted to go do some more investigation. Okay, let's stop there.